The Bible, particularly in the book of Revelation, speaks of a glorious event known as the marriage supper of the Lamb. This celestial celebration symbolizes the eternal union of Christ with his bride, the church. Interestingly, many of the customs and traditions surrounding Jewish weddings in biblical times offer a beautiful foreshadowing of this ultimate spiritual union and the abundant feast it represents. One key parallel lies in the concept of the covenant. In ancient Jewish weddings, a marriage contract, or ketubah, was established, outlining the commitment and obligations of both the bride and groom. This mirrors the new covenant established by Jesus' sacrifice, where believers enter into a covenant relationship with God through faith, promising obedience and receiving his grace and eternal life. As Jeremiah chapter 31, verses 31 to 33 proclaim, this new covenant is written on hearts, signifying an intimate and enduring bond. The tradition of the bride price also finds resonance in the marriage supper. In Jewish culture, the groom would pay a bride price to the bride's father, signifying his commitment and compensating for the loss of her service to her family. Similarly, Christ paid the ultimate bride price through his sacrificial death on the cross, redeeming humanity from the bondage of sin and death. 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 18 to 19 emphasize this, stating that we were redeemed with the precious blood of Christ, like that of a lamb without blemish or spot. The preparation period in Jewish weddings further foreshadows Christ's actions. After the betrothal, the groom would return to his father's house to prepare a dwelling place for his bride. Likewise, Jesus ascended to heaven to prepare a place for his bride, the church, as he promised in John chapter 14, verses 2 to 3. In my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? The wedding feast itself holds significant symbolism. In Jewish tradition, the wedding celebration involved a joyous feast with family and friends, lasting for several days. This mirrors the marriage supper of the Lamb, depicted as a grand banquet in heaven, overflowing with joy, fellowship, and the abundant blessings of God's presence. Isaiah chapter 25, verse 6 speaks of this future feast. On this mountain, the Lord of hosts will make for all peoples a feast of rich food, a feast of well-aged wine, of rich food full of marrow, of aged wine well refined. Finally, the consummation of the marriage in Jewish tradition, when the bride and groom entered the bridal chamber, points towards the ultimate union and intimacy believers will experience with Christ in eternity. This eternal fellowship is described in Revelation chapter 21, verse 3. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them as their God. In conclusion, the parallels between Jewish marriage traditions and the marriage supper of the Lamb are striking and profound. They highlight God's covenant faithfulness, Christ's redemptive love, and the glorious hope of eternity that awaits believers. By understanding these connections, we gain a richer appreciation for the depth and beauty of God's plan for his people, and the eternal celebration that awaits us in his presence. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.